What is up, guys? Giant01 here with another FIFA 17 tutorial. This was going to be another defending tutorial, and we're going to go really in specific on how to defend crosses and how to defend general wing play, so cutting in and crosses, guys. I've talked about this a little bit in my overall defending tutorial. If you haven't checked that out, make sure to check it out, but this was going to go more in detail because I know a lot of you guys have been asking for it, and we all know how overpowered crosses are in FIFA 17. As always, though, make sure to check out all my previous tutorials, including that defending tutorial, my passing, attacking tutorials. I got tutorials for really everything in FIFA 17, so make sure not to miss any of those out. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future ones. Alright, so I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering, if you haven't checked out my previous tutorials, what I mean by wing play, and that is that area of the pitch that is blue or yellow on the screen here. It can extend a little bit more out. Usually you're not going to see too many goals. In the yellow you might see the occasional, but usually around 90% of the goals are done in that red zone. Usually when players get into that yellow or that blue zone, they're trying to cross it or cut inside. So we're going to go in specific on how to defend not just crosses, but also how to defend those players that decide to cut inside, because the best players, even though crosses are extremely overpowered, the best players actually try to fake crosses and cut inside with good skill moves, but we're going to try to defend both of them in this episode. So the first thing, very important, just like I said in my defending tutorial, guys, is you must stay back and you must jockey. Jockeying is done by pressing the LT if you're on Xbox or the L2 button if you're on PlayStation. So here you're going to see an example, guys, and you can see he's going along the wing. He's in no position to score. Very unlikely that he scores from there. So what do? I don't follow him out all the way out towards that wing, because there is no point in doing that. He's either going to have to cut inside or he's going to have to cross it. He's not going to try to shoot from there, so there's no point in applying a lot of pressure. It is not the best way to stop crosses in FIFA 17. So you see me moving towards the penalty box. I want to get just inside the penalty box, and I'm jockeying just to make sure I can stay in front of my player and make sure that if he does cut inside, if I'm jockeying, I can maintain being in front of the player and he can't do many skill moves against me. In this situation, he decides to cross it, and because of that, he was unable to be successful with it. Here's another example. Once again, he's in the wings. He's in no man's land. So right here, I quickly figure out he's going to the wings. I got to stop following him. There's no point in me trying to follow him. It's very unlikely that I'm going to be able to take the ball away from him. It's more likely that he does a skill move and gets past me because I'm rushing out at him. So I decided to step back, go back towards that penalty box, and prepare myself for either the cross or the cut inside with skill moves. And I'm ready, jockeying, and preparing myself to have to clear the ball and stop them from scoring. Alright, so now let's go into the specifics. Like I said, guys, there's two main things they can do in this situation. The first one, and the most overpowered in FIFA 17, is crosses. Usually I say to be more aware of the cut inside, because the best players do some good cut insides and they will destroy you if you're not paying attention to that, if you're not prepared for it. But in FIFA 17, your average player is more likely going to try to cross it because they are so overpowered. In specific, headers are so empowered. They score from crazy angles and from crazy distances. So the first thing you have to know to do is to clear the ball. If you ever see a cross, clear the ball with the shooting button, which is the B button on Xbox or the circle button on PlayStation. Don't try to be a hero and pass it out and start your counterattack. Clear the ball. It is not worth it. So here you're seeing a situation. He's in the wings. I quickly stay back, get back into that area where the penalty box, and I'm jockeying. I'm preparing myself for him to cross it. So once he does in fact cross it, I'm in position to be able to clear the ball, and look how I clear it with the shooting button, allowing me to get a good amount of power into it. Here's one more example. Once again, he's in the wings. There's no point in me applying pressure here. He's not going to score from there. He's either got to cross it or he's got to cut it inside. So I'm just jockeying right outside the penalty box, and he decides to cross the ball. Very, very important. Once again, in this situation, if you want to get more power and assure that you actually get contact on the clearance, make sure to clear it back the way the ball came from, direction of the cross. Lastly, guys, I know a lot of you guys are probably wondering, well, that doesn't work all the time. Crosses are way too overpowered. There's sometimes that there's players wide open and there's nothing you can do about it. So if that's the situation, and you expect them to start crossing a lot, you're versing someone that's crossing all the time, you know he's going to cross, very, very unlikely that he cuts in. Then, instead, when you see that he's going to the wings, switch your control player. So in this situation, I'm controlling Marcelo. That is not what you want to do. If you know that he's crossing a lot and he's successful with it, there's a lot of players running through, make sure to switch to someone like Pepe or Ramos, one of your center backs, and mark the man that's open. Mark the man that you think he's going to cross it to. Get in front of that player and prepare yourself to clear the ball. So in this situation, I would have marked Pepe. I would have switched over to him and try to stop Lacazette from getting into position to score the cross. And that way you can ensure yourself to have a better probability of stopping crosses. But guys, crosses are extremely overpowered. You're going to give some up. It is not a surefire way to stop them, but this is the best way I can think of and has worked really well for me in FIFA 17. Number 2, guys, cutting in. And cutting in is extremely simple if you have the patience. If you have the patience, very important. So if you see someone that's cutting in, they're usually going to try to do a skill move or obviously a pass to cut inside. But if they're trying to do skill moves, the trick to stop in almost every single skill move in FIFA 17, guys, is just to stay back and jockey. If you stay back, if you're moving away from the attacker, if you're not rushing out at him, you're going to be able to stop that skill move more likely than not. Be aware, though, the way people really trick you is by doing multiple skill moves back to back. The best players, those pros that are good at skill moves, they know how to do 6 different skill moves back to back to back, and eventually you're going to bite, and that is when they beat you. But if you stay back and you jockey, they're not going to be able to beat you, and they're going to have to find a new way to attack. So once again here, he tries to do a roulette. The defender decides to stay back. He's not attacking him as you see here. And because of that, he's able to easily get a foot on the ball and take it away from me. Then lastly, guys, here one final example, just me staying back, getting back near that penalty box and jockeying. He's going to try to do all these different moves, and then eventually he's just going to give the ball away to me. But that is it, guys. I hope you guys liked this tutorial. If you did, please leave a like, comment, share with all your friends. But make sure to click on one of these boxes. Check out some of my other series, including the rest of my tutorials, my top 5 videos, like my top 5 skill moves, my ultimate team videos, and my formation, guys. And of course, click in the middle to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future tutorials or tip videos. Thank you guys so much.